I want to begin with Mike Duke simply because I think you will see the point of this panel if we start from someone who runs a massive operation with a reasonable span of control and a reasonable amount of money, where you can plan and execute design if you just make the right decision. So, Mike, talk to us a little bit about how, over the last several years, Walmart decided to try to become a green company, an environmentally responsible company, a combater of climate change, a reducer of greenhouse gas emissions. And what are the economics of it, and what's been the impact on your bottom line? And most important, how did you do it? We always assume that if you are on the top of a big totem pole and you tell people to do something, things happen. That's not necessarily true. So if you could talk about a little bit about how you came to do this and then how you actually executed it, I think it would be interesting. And then tell people a little bit about the sustainability efforts of Walmart.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, and it's a great honor to be here. First, I also want to thank you for the plug you gave Walmart the other night. I saw the Daily Show, and you mentioned Walmart. And back home in Arkansas, we were thinking about, we've hit big time when a small company from Arkansas can be mentioned on the Jon Stewart show by President Clinton. We said we're really hitting it big time now. And you mentioned in that, even in that, our focus on renewable energy and sustainability and some of our areas. So I'm really honored to get to speak to that. And I think, first of all, I go back to our business, Walmart size and scale. With our size of our company and the reach that we have, we believe with that comes a great responsibility. And we focus on our own responsibility in the world to the communities we serve, to the consumers, and to all the countries that we operate in. And we take that responsibility very, very seriously. Sometimes people will say that we're held to a higher standard of responsibility than maybe other retail companies. I say that's wonderful. I like being held to a higher standard. It'll make us a better company. I like when the world looks to us as a large retailer with high expectations, and I want to exceed those expectations. And I think that's what led us to originally even this focus on responsibility and sustainability. I'll also tell you, I think part of it goes back to our mission, our purpose of operating the business. Our real purpose and mission in our company, we talk about with our 2 million associates around the world, is to help consumers live a better life. And even more recently, we've looked at it long term. We want to do it over generations. And that's why we set aggressive goals. Our aggressive goals would be to be supplied by 100% renewable energy, to eliminate all waste, in other words, operate a zero waste company, and then to develop products for our consumers that are sustainable, so customers don't really have to make a choice about paying more for good, sustainable products that we can provide them for customers the way that they want. Those are our three big goals. And now working with our businesses around the world, we've had just great progress. We have a long ways to go, but we have great progress. So we've become, for example, in the area of renewable energy, the largest supplier or installer and user of solar energy in the United States. We have one distribution center, for example, in Arizona, Buckeye, Arizona. The equivalent use of solar there would power 400 homes. And so we can make an impact. We have 148 solar installations across the United States, and we think that that's just one example. But we have many examples of renewable energy, eliminating waste, and generating products that our consumers want that would be sustainable, because we really want to let consumers live a better life for many, many generations into the future, not just today. And all of this is good for business at the same time.
But how do you decide, so you have the goals, how do you decide when to stop? I mean, How do you decide that you want 148 solar buildings and not 195? How do you make these judgments? How is the cost benefit figured in? And do you believe this has been good for your bottom line and for your stock price?
This has clearly been good for our bottom line, and also those that monitor stock price. Our stock price has done really well also. So I think it's clear that it's good for business, but we also see it as good long term, and we just don't see the end in sight. So growing the use of renewable energy sources, we certainly do have to look at it from a business standpoint. We want to invest and do it the right way, so we do evaluate and consider the financial impact, but we really see positive benefits of this, and that's why we keep moving ahead. What I'm really pleased, Mr. President, even the theme of this meeting on design and the focus on design, when we have the energy of 2 million people around the world that work for Walmart looking all for a better way, then we just end up with more great ideas than we can ever consider. And some are big ideas like the solar and wind and renewable energy, and some can be small ideas, just little packaging ideas about the way we package product or the way we develop product for consumers. And we have so far ahead, so much more to do, I think.
To give you an idea of one of their small ideas, when they reduced packaging of the things you buy there by 5%, it had the effect in the United States of taking more than 200,000 diesel trucks off the road. That's how they would define a small idea. But it shows you that if everybody did the same thing, it would be huge. And the point I want to make here, and then I want to go to our other panelists, is that I asked Mike before he came in if he thought this was just a function of Walmart being such a big company. And he said, no, he thought the economics would work for anybody. It might change what you did first, whether you went to LED lighting first, as you've also done, or went to your packaging and changed your routing first. But basically, what big operations have are design staff. That's why I wanted to do this. They have design staff. There are lots of people who do this work in the public and private sector, or in every other, not just in energy, but in other areas that don't think about conscious design, which is why I thought the conversation to open was important.